Hey, Battle Bill, here with another video. Boy, it's been a while since I've said that. Is this thing on? Oof, the Battle Bill YouTube channel. It's been quite a while since we've gotten some content up in here. It's been so long that you've noticed maybe I got a new cat. That's a story for another day. Yes, it's been some time since I've uploaded on the YouTube channel. Content for Go Battle League hasn't been dead for me. I've been streaming on Twitch every day. Link's always in the description. But let me explain myself real quickly, and then let's hop into some Pokemon Season 11 Go Battle League content. Boy, it's been a while. Please bear with me as I continue to butcher this intro and the rest of this video because it's been quite a while since I've done some YouTube content. But essentially, I'm a full-time teacher. I've been for the past like 5-6 years, and with COVID, it gave me an opportunity to create content, and doing YouTube and Twitch consistently was realistic until COVID. Not that it's over, but real life is back in the swing of things. So teaching and full-time teaching has definitely taken my time, and the only thing that I was able to maintain content-wise was the Twitch channel, and the YouTube had to get sacrificed. But I'm here at the beginning of Season 11 to try to give you some first day content, even though it's really going to be second day content by the time this gets out. But these are my first battles, and you noticed Battle Bill had to come back with the Mudboys. I know Diggersby, honorary Mudboy. Anyhow, the goal here is it's the end of the school year. So essentially, I'm aiming to get back on the YouTube wagon and maybe figure out the perfect niche routine to be able to put out both contents, YouTube and Twitch, and then when the school year comes back around, I don't have to let the YouTube die again. That's the goal. We'll see if it works out, but you know what? The only way we're going to find out is by trying. So by all means, welcome back to some Battle Bill YouTube content. Who'd have thought I'd ever be saying that again? And if you don't mind helping out, this has worked in the past before. I don't know how legit this is, but if you're a long-time viewer and you're getting this push notification to help get me back into the algorithm, obviously the like and the comment, but the big thing here would be, can you unsubscribe and resubscribe so that it seems like my YouTube channel has a little bit of life on it? Anyhow, I digress. Battle Bill with his long intros. What else is new? Good old ramble. We have some double Mudboy content for the Great League Remix battles on the first day of the season, and we're leading it with Shadow Ember Ninetales. Shout out to King's fiance Greenish for rocking that in Vancouver and winning the championship with it. It inspired me, and it worked perfectly for a nice remix comp of the double Mudboy variety. Because you know, if I'm gonna come back, we gotta at least bring Cash Daddy, because Swampert's banned in remix. You know how the remix meta works. We're gonna jump right into these battles now. I'm gonna do my best attempt at shoutcasting. If I even remember how to do that again, I'm gonna keep on tapping on the mic as I continue to screw this up. But as you can see, this isn't my exact first set. This is actually my second set, because you know, the first few battles of some new season, quite the content. So I wanted to include the second set. These battles go really weird, and then I include the sixth set because I banked the sixth set for Season 11 towards the end to see how viable this team may be, and if you can actually have some success with it in some remix battles, because of course we're back to ranked play. That was also another big reason for the past 3 months why I didn't want to upload any content. As you'll notice in this matchup, I lost lead and I lost swap. So what I decided to do was let Whiscash go down completely through a Leaf Blade so that Ninetales can get a bunch of energy and throw an overheat at the Sudowoodo. Now we get a little bit more energy, and we're getting to a move, unfortunately debuffed, and fire being resisted by Sudowoodo's rock typing. We're not in the ideal situation here, but again, these are some beginning of the season battles, so it doesn't necessarily mean that my opponent's gonna be playing this perfectly, and we did allow ourselves to have a shield advantage by just letting Whiscash go down the way that we did and building up so much energy on Ninetales. So we have Diggersby in. It's XL Diggersby. You can see the IVs down there. You can see the movesets and things along those lines. And we're going to just power off or shoot off Earthquake after Earthquake until the Sudowoodo's out of shields, and then they're going to come in with their Shadow Marowak, which gets absolutely walled by our Diggersby, unless it's running Fire Blast. But these Bone Clubs are doing no damage. Hex being double resisted. Diggersby with that beautiful normal typing comes in clutch here, and we're able to overcome a bad lead, because Ninetales does not want to go up against an Alolan Marowak just based on the pure fact as Bone Club, and of course all of Marowak's going to resist all of Ninetales moves, because as you'll notice, we're not running Psyshock, and the reason why we're not running Psyshock Psyshock is because Overheat just hits so hard, and we want the Weather Ball spamminess. And Psyshock, with the lack of fighters in this meta, is kinda unnecessary. So getting to this next matchup, we're running into Aerodactyl, and boy was I not prepared, so I shot off a move on my Ninetales. I'm coming in my Whiscash, and we're gonna let this come through because Aerodactyl, I think, only has access to rock moves, and if it has access to anything else, it's nothing too crazy that Whiscash is gonna be worried about. Plus, it's a regular Aerodactyl. So, like, Flying Cup, Season 11, what is this? This is a Great League Remix. Trainer, wrong meta. Save your Aerodactyl, because apparently later in the season, we're getting Flying Cup. We're getting quite a few metas. Please let me know which ones in the comment section below that you're excited for. Oh, look at the good little, like, you know, YouTube bait of like, yo, talk to me. No, but seriously, talk to me. I miss you guys. This video is going to get like 3 views on it because this channel is absolutely dead. But you know what? I'm just going to come back for the content because I'm excited. Did I want Niantic to fix this game after the 3-month interlude season? Absolutely. Did I expect it to actually be fixed? No. But you know what? I'll remain hopeful. You can call it unrealistic. You can call me delusional. Those would be correct statements also. But I'm hopeful that they're making progress in the right direction. Did I want it to happen immediately? Of course. Will I give them more time? Of course. Now, what I did notice in my first day of battles was that I wasn't running into a lot of lag. The big issue that I'm still running into, and I know a lot of trainers are running into, are fast move denials, because fast move sneaks are supposed to be intended. I don't know why, but that's a whole different conversation. Fast move sneaks aren't happening consistently, and desync is still a bit of an issue. And of course, let me know how the servers have been. But I was lucky enough to not have too many issues server-wise when it came to my battles, so hopefully that continues, and we'll see how it goes, especially with GoFest coming up this weekend. Is there anything you're after PvP-wise? I know I'm just excited to get like Shiny Axew and a ton of Stardust and a ton of Shinies just for the content, and we'll see if we pull any good PvP IVs along the way. Start making some crazy stuff, but I want to try to come back first with some good teams, and I want to actually get good at PvP again. I've been pretty average. I've been streaming every day, but I've kind of just been doing it for content purposes, and I didn't take interlude season all that seriously, so I was doing a variety of different weird things over on the Twitch channel for the battles. Also, if you want to see these battles ahead of time, again, highly recommend the Twitch. I'm going to stop. I'm promoting too much. The Twitch channel is just where everything's at, so if the YouTube ever dies, because I did see like all like 5 of my fans that stuck around the YouTube saying they missed me, and I miss you guys too. But if you're like completely opposed to Twitch, I understand. I highly recommend it because that's where the main content typically is. I don't know if it's going to be realistic to get like unique content onto the YouTube versus a Twitch, just because Go Battle League only allows us 5 sets. So like that's the issue there. All right, getting into this next battle, we have an amazing lead. We have our Shadow Ninetales on Berserker. Also, you might be wondering why we're running Ember and why we elite TM'd it. It's because Ember is better damage per turn, and the energy generating that you're essentially lacking from going from Fire Spin to Ember isn't all that detrimental. It's actually a bit of an upgrade, and I highly recommend if you want to try out Shadow Ninetales. Again, King's fiance Cindy won Vancouver Regionals with Ember, Shadow Ninetales, so of course we had to be inspired and follow that route because she's a GOAT and we need to follow the GOAT's path to become a GOAT. I'll also be partaking in the Ohio Regionals later this month, so hopefully, you know, I'll get my act together and get good at this game because clearly this match, I didn't play all that well. We won lead, they swapped in regular Sharpedo, and I thought to myself, you know, it's a great answer for Sharpedo, my ground type Diggersby. Thankfully, I was able to grab a shield, and thankfully, their team is super weak to Ninetales, or super weak to fire in general. They come in with the Beedrill here, so all we need to hope is that they don't throw a Fell Stinger, because we're going to shield no matter what and preserve our Ninetales, and we want to commit or get as much damage off as possible, get the shields, which we did, and then again, Ember allows us to farm down more damage. Berserker comes back in. I was going to try to build to the overheat, but Berserker's so glassy, it's unnecessary. We get off the Weather Ball here, and their one answer to Ninetales being their Sharpedo. I keep on calling it a Shadow because typically if you're going to run Sharpedo, you got to run the Shadow version. Just was not enough. So even with my miss swap, Ninetales was able to hard clutch. Now this next trainer brings in another water type, and I learned my lesson from the last match. Don't swap in my ground type Diggersby. I mean, like, obviously. And we go into Whiscash here. It's going to be our best option. We are ABA weak to water, but aside from some very interesting choices in terms of like this Samurai and the Sharpedo in these very beginning battles, I wasn't seeing too many water types that core broke. There is going to be one Mon that I still didn't see a lot of. I only saw once. a little bit later in the video that core breaks this entire comp, which is unfortunate. But you know what's a popular mon that everybody and their mother's using in Great League Remix battles? Registeel. Hopefully we see a couple in this battle. But this team absolutely obliterates it. Registeel's best matchup is the Diggersby because of its normal typing, and even Diggersby still handles it. So if you're sick of seeing Registeel, I highly recommend this team. And I had a lot of success with it, but these are early battles, so it's hard to tell. Diggersby and Whiscash both being weak to grass is why we're leading with Ninetales. Maybe we could have found a better answer, but I wanted to go with something a little still good, but a little unique. And that was the aim there. Maybe it's not unique enough, but regardless, I thought it was a fun comp, and Ninetales just covers that grass weakness so well. So we're popping off a Mud Bomb here, and our hope is to not let this Slurpluff get off enough charm damage, so we have to swap immediately into our Diggersby to get off this Earthquake. And the charms, as much as Diggersby is thick, we're slowly adding up, and Slurpluff, being the weird charmer that it is, does have access to a grass charge move in the form of Energy Ball. I don't think it would have done enough damage with the charms to take out Diggersby, but just to be safe, we gotta swap and not let them get free energy. So as you can see there, that was the second set of all my battles. We went 5-0 there, and this is gonna be the last set of all the battles. And here is a mon that completely core breaks this comp. Pelipper, because our best damage that we're gonna be popping off on this Pelipper is Blizzard from our Whiscash. So our hope here is to just commit to Whiscash and land some Blizzards, but our opponent, recognizing the pure fact that our best answer is a Whiscash, they're going to shield the Blizzards and commit to their Pelipper. Should I have baited? Maybe, but who wants to throw double resisted Mud Bombs at a Pelipper on the off chance that they don't shield and then it lands? That would just set us back even further. So my only hope was, or my assumption to be my only hope, was to pop off Blizzard after Blizzard, but then my opponent makes an insane play and catches a Blizzard on their Toxicroak. So then we have to swap into Ninetales to try and farm down, because Diggersby and Whiscash, as much as Mud Shots would have been super effective, would not have been able to farm down before they got to a move. And then they come back with the Pelipper, obviously, and we're still not sitting in a great spot. Them catching the Blizzard, even though our team does really well against Toxicroak, them keeping their Pelipper alive ends up being huge here, because we still haven't gotten that shield, and we're running Fire Punch and Earthquake on our Diggersby, which, you know, Hyper Beam Diggersby when? Hyper Beam Diggersby when? The ideal moveset, obviously, Diggersby with Mud Shot, Earthquake, and Hyper Beam. Who wants a bait move of Fire Punch? Not me in this situation, but in all other situations, you definitely want the Mud Shot, Fire Punch, Earthquake. It just was not ideal here, considering our Pelipper weakness. But again, like I mentioned, we have not seen many. And also, I don't even think they end up committing the shields here, because it's unnecessary. Oh no, they don't commit the shield at all. And you'll notice, if we were to take out the Pelipper and it didn't just completely destroy our line, their back line was weak to ground. It had Marowak and Toxicroak, a poison and a fire type, which Whiscash could have popped off on back and potentially clutch, or even Diggersby. As much as it would have taken super effective damage from Toxicroak's counters, it's so thick, getting off one EQ on each mon could have been a possibility. But again, they're really good play on some first day battles. Props to them. Also, Registeel, we obliterate it. Where's it running? We swap, we catch, we're like, all right, what's Gabite gonna throw at us? So they're running the meta mon of Registeel, but then they paired it up with Gabite, which I respect. It's super spammy. It's spamming the hell out of some twisters. I think Gabite's like a main moveset that you want to get off or want to run is Mud Shot, Twister, and Flamethrower, which is unique in itself, but the problem for Gabite is that Twister is not a great move as much as it is spammy, and Gabite is also super glassy. So we're just hoping to outpace and throw as many Mud Bombs as possible. And again, we don't want sneaks to be a thing. We want to deny as many moves as possible so that we can essentially outpace them and get the Mud Bombs off. We keep Switch, but at what cost is the question, because of the fact that we lost shield advantage and we're running into another water type, which is not ideal here. So we need to make a ballsy play, which is to come in with the Diggersby and see that they have two shields and assume that because they're using two shields that they expect a bait. So we go straight for the big move of the EQ. It's neutral, but we need to land it. Boom, it's landed, and that actually flips the match. If they're able to shield the EQs, I can't go straight Fire Punch here and put myself in a position for Ninetales and Diggersby to take care of the Politoed and then obliterate the Registeel in the back. Like I said, that Registeel has nowhere to go. So they're going to throw a Weather Ball here, take out the Diggersby, but with Ember, as much as the moves are resisted, are going to slowly chunk at Politoed. We're going to throw, though, to either force their shield or take them out. And again, you'll see we are about to farm them down. We shield their Weather Ball that comes through here, and then they're going to come in with the Registeel, and we just need to hope to outpace. And the lack of energy generation between Ember and Fire Spin does not bite us in the butt because we land the overheat and we're able to farm down the Politoed just in time to win that match. Getting to the next one, we have a Ninetales on a Marowak lead. Again, not a great lead for us, so we safe swap into Whiscash, and then they bring in a Greedent, which would typically be a neutral matchup, minus the fact that the Greedent is running Bullet Seed, and Bullet Seed's double super effective, so it's not ideal. Also, if you don't know, I feel like I've said this in like every video that I've ever run Whiscash in, which is like a majority of my videos, but Blizzard, even though it's non-stab, is the better DPE move between Mud Bomb and itself. So when you're in this kind of situation and you're trying to get any type of slight advantage, you want to throw and try your best to land the Blizzard if you feel like you can. Again, they had 2 shields and Greedent's super thick, so I had no expectations that they would shield the move, which is why that landed. We let Whiscash go down. We're coming into Ninetales. We're going to let them spam the heck out of us because we know that Diggersby's got to be our win con. We're also hopeful we can farm down, maybe land an overheat, even though it's a fire on fire type damage, which is going to be resisted. Overheat's just such a big move, and Ninetales is a shadow, so that does a huge chunk, which is ideal. And then we catch what would have been a super effective Bone Club onto our Diggersby, and oh, look what Pokemon it is here. Again, what Pokemon did I mention before, chat, that this team completely obliterates? Oh yeah, Registeel. So we land an EQ there, does a nice amount of damage, and they're like, oh, we can tank your EQ. So we're like, all right, we can tank your Focus Blast, sir. All we need to do now is overfarm a bit and then start landing Fire Punches. If they decide to shield, we can shield the next one. If they decide not to shield, then we take them out like that. And then they come in with their Marowak, and we just get to the EQ in time before getting Fire spun down, and they decide to call the move. I saw my switch timer up. If they were going to shield that, then I would have needed to go in the Ninetales, commit the shield to Ninetales, and try to get to any kind of move to land it on the Marowak to win. Their win con was hoping that they called a bait, essentially. So very tricky matchup there. EQ lands, we win it. Next match, we have Ninetales on Drifloon, and it's a very neutral matchup, but we would prefer the Shadow Ball not to land, so we shield, especially because they let the Weather Ball come through, and again, Ember doing that extra damage allows us to farm down. They come in with a Sand Slash, and we're like, you know what, we're not going to let ourselves get farmed down. We're going to swap in Diggersby to lure out their third Mon, and what is it? A Grass type. So we just let Whiscash completely get obliterated. RIP Whiscash. And then we can come back in with the Ninetales, get some Embers off, get off a Weather Ball, see if they want to shield it and commit to get off a move, or let their Lurantis go down. They come back in with the Sand Slash, and we know Sand Slash well, or at least I do, because it got the Community Day move of Night Slash, and we were not expecting a ground move to come through. I played Sand Slash quite a bit on stream. I would definitely love to bring it back for some future YouTube content also. And because we got the shield out of them, Sand Slash really can't do anything here to beat our Diggersby unless they get a boost. But because we're so thick and we had that shield, that was a very obvious EQ to us, so we called it. We're just going to go straight EQ ourselves, and because their Sand Slash has more damage dealt to them, you can see how low landing an EQ got them, whereas them landing an EQ on us, we sort of had a good chunk of health on us, and they needed to call it bait for their win con there. Getting into the next match, we have Ninetales on Mandibuzz, and this is also another tough Mon to go up against for this team comp, because Diggersby essentially has no play. Whiscash really needs to land Blizzards, like that's the understatement of the century. So our real best matchup is this neutral matchup with Ninetales on Mandibuzz, and we're hopeful that we can land the overheat because people don't like to shield their thick Mons. So the most ideal situation is occurring right now. They throw a foul play, we're just barely alive. We're both alive, and we both simultaneously KO, and I will take that. That's one of the most ideal ways that that matchup could have went off, because again, our backline will not do well against Mandibuzz. Problem is, now they have a Vigoroth, and I wasn't guessing Mons. So what I ended up doing there, I don't know if you noticed, it happened so fast, was I let the timer just go all the way down. I was like, let God lead the way, pick whichever Mon, the PvP Go Battle League gods, decide what Mon I'm going to come in with here. And unfortunately, it was a wrong decision because we have Vigoroth on Diggersby. We swap in Whiscash, but we're just at a disadvantage. They have a counter user. They have the counter user on our normal type, and now this is just a neutral matchup. Where again, I'm going to try to land the Blizzard here. We do land it. We do have shield advantage, which seems like it'd be nice, but the problem is that the Vigoroth is so spammy, the counter is going to add up, and Diggersby just does not handle it well. If we would have had Diggersby on Whiscash and Whiscash on the Vigoroth, we might have had a better chance. It probably still would have come down to some Mud Bomb baits or Blizzard lands, but we're going to let this continue to play out. My phone also is dying while I'm charging it in the middle of stream. That's fantastic stuff. I mean, it might be time for an iPhone upgrade, but that's a whole different topic for another story. They come in with their Vigoroth with energy. I'm like, maybe I want to save this shield, get off a move. I should have built up to the Blizzard. That was actually maybe my only win con, which I did not do there. I threw the Mud Bomb. If I would have threw the Blizzard, it might have landed, and then maybe Diggersby survives long enough to get off 2 fire punches. But almost definitely not. We're getting 1 fire punch there, and we just fall short of getting to the EQ regardless. And then, of course, because they farmed down, played it very well, they're going to throw the body slam here. Maybe they, in another situation, if we go for the Blizzard and it lands, or we get the shield, maybe they misplay and we can get off the EQ. But that ends up being the final battle of the 10 that I have. I thoroughly enjoy this team. Let me know your thoughts and comments. Let me know what you're running on these first day of Season 11 ranked Go Battle League battles. Are you spicing it up because the first day is crazy, or are you just going try hard out the gate? Because honestly, I miss some ranked play, so I really do want to do my best attempt at trying hard. We'll see how well that goes, but yeah, there's Battle Bill with his first YouTube video in a while. Now, I don't know how consistent these videos are going to come out. They're definitely not going to come out daily right from the jump. Maybe when the school year actually ends, because I still have another month, then I'll be able to try my best attempt at some daily content aside for some times where I'm going away. But yeah, please let me know your thoughts on the video. Let me know your thoughts on how I commentated. My voice sounds raspy because, again, I've been talking all year between teaching and streaming. So maybe sooner or later I'll let my voice rest, hopefully over the summer, and I get my voice back. I should see a doctor, but I think that pretty much covers it. I'm going to try and aim for maybe like 4 videos a week to start, and we'll figure it out from there. I don't want to promise anything. I'm kind of just getting back into the motions. But thankfully, I have this beautiful layout and all this stuff previously from when I used to do YouTube videos, so it should be pretty easy as long as, you know, I commit myself to the grind. All right, a typical rambling Battle Bill outro. That just about covers it. I miss you, YouTube. I can't wait to see you in a future video. Don't forget the usual, like, comment, and subscribe. But like, seriously, if you could unsubscribe and resubscribe, that'd be super duper appreciated, so that maybe it messes with the YouTube system and it recognizes, yo, this channel's alive and trying to resuscitate itself from the dead. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.